So, I want to encourage you all to take a risk when you get up here and perform, because I know it's a lot to stare into a group of audience of people and just not feel all the nerves and feel like eyes are on you and like you're being judged instantly. And sometimes that's happening, but like think about the person in the audience who came out to see something inspirational. So deliver the message. There's a reason that you showed up. Deliver the message. That's my message to the performers. Also to those who don't necessarily do poetry or writing or whatever. You know, I'm sure you write, but you write. So take a risk and write. Be inspired. Keep in mind, be mindful of who came up on stage tonight, and like, maybe you got a favorite for the night. Maybe you write a poem after what you heard tonight and then bring it back to the next one. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? You see how that works? That's community. Yes, we just did that. Make some noise for yourself. Somebody say a random letter. L.
Yeah.
Hold on. I heard L. I heard F. And I heard W. Hold up. Let's see. See, when you write, you write. You know what I'm saying? And then this is dedicated. This is a book that I have that I'm selling for $10. Only $10.
Only $10.
So I'm gonna have these. I'm trying. VCU published this for me because I had so many poems that I submitted to the Literary Arts Journal. They were like, "Yo, we got some extra money. You trying to? You got these poems?" And I was like, "Yeah, I got these poems right here. You going?" And now the books are here. So This is about a relationship. It's called Of a Sunken Relationship. I'm gonna just. Okay, I heard L. I heard F. I didn't even put a damn table of contents. Oh, yeah, I did. Okay, all right. Let me see if there's an L. Ooh. Woo. Hold on, let's start with the Harpoon Haikus. Oh. Love is cork bottling loneliness. We break up. Love is corkscrewed. Damn. Ooh, that wasn't part of the haiku. She says, I see love with anchors under my eyes. Fuck relationships. Okay. I see it. It's over here, no? It's over there. I see it. I see it where I see it. I see it. Are you out there? Y'all dressed so sharp. Are you art spears? My mind is a javelin spar. For the days that channeling was challenging, I'm traveling far. Today I trust in my gut. It said, let go of your fears. What you're looking for is right here. Courage. Courage is what I seek. Courage. The courage inside of me stood up as I stood on the mountaintop. I'm counting stars like kindling the wind with words. My gears begin to churn. I'm kicking it with birds that don't fly away. Here's what I'm trying to say. My trip here taught me something about freedom. Something about believing when no one else is receiving the message of Mother Nature. You are a child of she. You are creator. So why not create while you tour? The globe. Your home, the prophecy, let your inkwell flow, so flow like a rapper on the rapids, whitewater rafting, might want to strap in the waves or take you to places you've never seen. I'm racing, I'm pedaling to the boundaries of my imagination. Are you out there? Are you the genius behind my paintings? Are you the pulse behind my sayings? You know it's electric medicine. You know I'm checking my skin for the solar panels beneath my skin with the code to conduct the wind with the words. I'm a pro like MacBook. Okay. In design like Adobe. Photoshopping my stories, don't be cropping my homies out the bigger picture. This is scripture, graduated and got left with pixels and notions to manifest my dreams. I got one too many and I brought them right here to the page. The stage is set on inspiration. Are you out there? Are you really out there? And a voice echoes back. Draw the world until the world draws back. I'm looking on time. Okay, all right, we good? We good? If everybody can hear the sound of my voice, say word. 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 Theater did this. I didn't do this originally when theater opened my mind to some improv. You can do anything in a poem, really. Like there's a block, like people talk about writer's block, but then the moment you write the word writer's block or the moment you write, I don't know what to write, you've already broken the curse. So that's just some knowledge. Boom. Okay. What? Let me get just a random person to say how they're feeling right now. Make some noise if you're feeling gassy right now. You know, that's like one of humans' like best kept secrets, like gas, like especially when you're around people that you don't pass gas around. You're just like, oh, my stomach. It's nothing. I heard it's not comparable to period cramps, and I will never experience that. But that's the closest point of reference. Dairy and cheese gonna fuck you up. Just Grandpa used to call that tailhole putty. He was in the army, so do whatever you want to do with that. I'm not saying convert to nothing. I'm just telling you what Grandpa said. Oh, there's a piece of paper at my feet. What does it say? Speaking of food that fuck you up. Hey, yo, cancer! You ugly! Why else would Greeks name you after a crab? Take the dirty claws off my dad, or I'll break them off, break you down. You a disease, a dis-ease. My father's side of the family is literally fading because of the dye in their genes. I caught you at the 4th of July cookout, laid back in a pack of cigarettes. Aunts, uncles, and cousins held in smoke like charcoal grills. There were more buds planted in the ashtray than fireworks blooming in the sky. It was an execution so large I could call it a mass gravesite. Mom called. Said she had to rush Dad to the ER. All of a sudden, you call yourself terminal illness. What, that's your Wu-Tang Clan generator name? Or adenocarcinoma, that's what you spit to freshman girls at the gym? But you're a coward. All you do is jack tissues and spread tumors. I know what you made of. You ain't nothing but unruly cell division. Division ain't nothing but a mathematical operation. See, you're just an operation, and I'm a surgeon with a knife and no patience, itching to split you open and call it mitosis. You can't beat me. Why? Because you ugly. You look like the knotted lynch rope hanging from my family tree. I ain't scared of you, because in the 3rd grade, 3 black girls on the blacktop taught me that ropes can get jumped too. When my father tells me I don't know how long I have left, I look to the family photo on the wall of me, him, and Mom. Recall that stupid rubber duck that made us laugh. The camera flash illuminating the dark rings under his eyes, his pupils sparkling like jewels weathered flawless by the rapids of life. He's holding Mom like a diamond without conflict, and look at me, standing behind them like a prince, the freshest prince, royalty, namesake, trusted warrior of bright fame. I am the heir to this throne of sun, the oxygen, the heir to the world with the oxygen-deprived lungs. Still I rise because I am the sun, a heavenly body radiating the Holy Spirit. So in the name of my Father, I shine. And after hearing this poem, he responds, you see, the battle is never... I read him this poem when he was eating dinner, so... You see, the battle is never... You have to keep fighting to live on, you understand? You have to keep fighting every second, every day, every minute of the day, every hour of the day to want to live. I wrote this in his voice. Little Robert, don't fear. Mama here, Papa here. Margaret, Thomas, Richard too. Gibson clan, we hand to you. We sit with Biggie, Angelou. Teach the kiddies, hand them truth and the juice of honeysuckles. South of the border, Columbia summers. Rumbling thunder of 4th of July. Rumbling thunder of 4th of July. Bottling rockets and sparkling eyes. Remember the time, apple tree in the front, dumb cake inside. I'ma sip a cold one. I'ma lean on the ride. I'ma leave when I goddamn feel like it. Still fighting. My body the bottle, my body the glass. Body the glass filled with spirit, then empty again. Empty again. Maybe the cancer, maybe the meds, maybe the doctors, maybe I'm dead, but you keep me alive, so it's gonna be alright. I see your might, put your suits in the cleaners, increase your stride, invest in yourself, and you're gonna see your light. We name you Rob, so believe your hype, man. When you ride and feel that tap on the shoulder, that's me. That's me. Keep it going. 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 Black hole melanin, black power, mouth full of thunder and the rumble. Overseas. I said, overseas head. Hey, I said, overseas head. Hey, overseas head. Hey, I said, we don't have to fuck with them. Hey, I said, we don't have to fuck with them. Hey, I said, we don't have to fuck with them. Black hole melanin, overground thunder, black mouth full of thunder and the rumbling. Crack pow wow from the jungle where Muhammad is. Map out clouds, people cotton, never, not again. Hey, overseas head. Hey, overseas head. Hey, overseas head. Hey, we don't have to know your rights. Ooh. Know your rights. I'm serious. Speaking of rights, you thought it was over. This is a written. Something I'm spitting. Warm as a mitten. Cuddly as a kitten. Meow. I had a button I was gonna wear that said, it's not in my pocket, so I ain't gonna it said flirty, and I'm flirting with my Introversion comes out on stage when you do stuff like that. So this is my introversion bubble, so welcome. Anyway. You gotta have fun sometimes. You know, it's all this bullshit going on in the world. It's all, you know, y'all know what the fuck just happened up here. Like, you know, it's gonna be crazy all the time. So you have to slip your joy in there. You gotta get your humor in there, because you will be a sad motherfucker if you don't. I'm serious. It works. Sometimes you gotta fake it till you make it, but like you gotta program yourself with positive thoughts, because the negative ones will flood up and they will drown you. So I'm just telling you from experience, like I know I need to go see counseling. I haven't had counseling, but poetry is my excuse so far. So you know what I'm saying? But it's not an excuse if I still need it, you know what I'm saying? So you gotta take care of yourself. Art is not an excuse to be fucked up. Like if you feel it, if your body tells you something, like I'm serious. Like, if you feel something in your body, like that's your body talking to your ass. Like you need to listen. Like go to the doctor as soon as you can. Go to the dentist. You know what I'm saying? It's like these are all things that I've done, and I like lost a tooth over like not listening. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like wisdom tooth. And were you really wise if you didn't go to the dentist when you had options? Like, you know, these are just things. You know what I'm saying? Okay, all right. I'm serious. But I just talked about humor, so that's the, you get it? That's the punchline, you lined up. Okay, all right. Fuck gentrification. Hold on, that's my preface. Insert the exclamation marks of hate flashing inside an ignorant motherfucker's face for me to bend into question marks. You see the imagery right there? Question marks as I pray to the Lord if silence will not protect you. I tattoo words cross ears like Lupe on tattoo. Winter, fall, spring, and summer, I tweak a sonnet of ether sonics. All as you summon a weak rebuttal, double dutching with ropes, made it issues you discovered. The blue light blinks on the storm door window like emergency from the inside, like that blink to catch your eye beside a car that's been locked. Incense streaming over my eyes, the quiet siren persists, as if policed against protest. No, you're right, so I ask what percent of white people will never experience triggers in the morning, triggers in the evening, triggers at lunch of swine. And if I'm trying to write a poem about humanity, do I have to point out that you're white, or black, or... I'm an artist, so if I call myself black and I know my watch is black and my skin isn't, am I black? Identity crisis. Back to the poem. You see the picture? You see the painting? You see the gentrification? All of these words I'm saying stemmed from a conversation I had with somebody about why they shouldn't build a ballpark over sacred, historic burial grounds. Why shouldn't you build a ballpark? Because my ancestors are down there. Because my ancestors are down there. Domino effect. When you say urban renewal, I hear well-intentioned genocide. When you say, well, it's all economics, I hear my mouth is a Great Depression gutter. Lips smeared with Wall Street bullshit, the 20s roared, metal is the new slave. Be thankful. We reconstructed freedom, gave you housing tenements to die in, and conceptualized universities for you to lose your tribe in. Don't lie, kid, you might be in the wrong field, nigger. What's wrong? George Washington got you by the teeth. Our dentists don't fix poverty gaps. Out with the gold, end with the revenue. What's wrong? I'm just doing my job, eating the homeless, wiping my eyes with $100 bills. Black pain, black shame is a comedy I watch with the kids after work. White guilt is a popcorn kernel clinging to the back of my tongue. When you say black, I say our lives been mattered. When you say black, I say action. Right now, when you say black, I say fuck self-hate. I reach into the dark and find what I am looking for. I'm looking for metaphor. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 stream of consciousness. Why don't y'all just dive in? That's improv again. That's improv again. If revolution is a change, revolution is my name. I am not a renegade. I'm just requesting flame, a cup of lemonade. I am the liquid flame burning through the fire and the rain, tested and professed against, rooted in Aquarius. I will bear the water for the tree of life to quench. Yesterday's imminence is today's penmanship. I put on my yester kicks to begin my quest with this life is but a rhyme. I'm just trying to scheme through it, calculating the time it take to write to some exclusive, visual, vivid imagery, metaphorical symmetry, illustrating the written to the word of wit and wizardry, identify knowingly the persona of poetry, verbalizing, tuning key until you really know it's me. An expose of spoken speech broken into prose and beat. The art of which I speak is the rhythm you critique. You see, we don't obey lines. Break from your stage lines. Improv your life and you will stay inside a sane mind. Improve your mind but not staying inside the same line. Bend its ends until it ciphers into the... You got the right to fight, so never stop. As artists fighting together, our words will live forever. Speaking of Aquarius, February 5th, shouts out to all the Aquarians out there. Even if you ain't born in February or late January, you probably got an Aquarius energy because creativity, because Phantom of the Aqua, Baker of the occupy all the vacant seats in the landmark opera, light show Merkaba filled with chakra. March. No. Do y'all know what's happening up here? I've been writing poems that ended up being raps when I got older and look back on it. You know what I'm saying? So rap is poetry, and Shakespeare was writing shit that rhymed at the end. I'm looking at this shit because I ain't had no black poets to look at, or Langston Hughes, but you know, that Langston Hughes, like, you know, it's Langston. So, you know, it's like, I won't get into knowledge on black poets who fucking innovated this shit, and I'm looking at Shakespeare and I'm like, Shakespeare, okay, I see what you're doing. I can do that shit. I'm gonna center my poems in the middle of the page. I'm gonna put it up on MySpace and see what my friends think. You know, it's like all of that poetry. All right. Radiant art, painted real dark, but look at the gleam, stay real lit. Hover over things, Shakespeare's quills puddled into wings. History lesson, yin and the yang. Chuck buried Elvis, embodied J. Renegade monologues, embodied J. Hot Chevys coasting down, Carrie glossed it off, Cherry clearly summer was the plug, Pop left me, Mom and I heavy off, then I levy steady, write it in a poem, my God is a script of love, your God is a rental thug, on the gate of heaven hung, rich man knuckled in a rope, Columbus ain't discovered shit, John Smith can suck it, Grandma Willow gave good head, Lynchman chuckled with a ghost. What you know about cotton? What you know about prophets? Rob is on a velvet throne. Scepter chrome just to set the tone. Scepter chrome just to set the tone. Scepter chrome just to set the tone. That feel good. Like I knew I would. Like I knew it would. Like get your... Oh, y'all don't know how much I love poetry, and that's why I was so hard on Marvin when you gotta know something about words. There's music in words, so elevate the word. You know, there's too many thoughts that are flying around in my mind. It's like comets in the sky that I can't see because light pollution is fucking it up for me. Muhammad Ali said, you can be a champion if you practice championship words. Let that marinate. Okay. Somebody else in the audience, just yell out how you feeling right now. Jiggy? Hold on. Oh. I'm a sore loser, flyer than Pigeon Man, chicken head messiah, lifting heads bigger than the Wizard of Oz. Been living in bars, but some invisible God cover my bail. No more falling hairs for shizzle, and nizzle too broke to get payback, so I'm chilling in an airfield with Bugs Bunny hitting failed missiles like a failed gremlin. Oh, I don't blow up, I show up. Hand you a tissue, get well soon, but nowadays hating on the crew in the name of Deuce, I'm running it back, getting jiggy, bitty, niggy, you more of a bitty than a niggy, you don't want no chitty, bang, I make them disappear like Diddy. Diddy? Dang. Send you back to the creator, got no say in or say of, need a seance to cool down from getting blazed up, I am the, you ain't bruh, I sip that bubbly drink up, that Sprite and Ocean spray cause whoever skipping showers getting sprayed up. I'm shooting J's, you missing layups. Just lay down, your scope is out my range, bruh. Throw in the towel and walk it out like Texas Ranger. Wish I could spit like Andre and Lupe, but I can't. But I changed my mindset. Can't doubt my Busta Rhymes set. I'm Rob A. Luya, so woo-ha. Nah. 848. 8 represents as above, as below. As above, as below, and if you turn to the side, it's infinity. Food for thought. Muhammad Ali said, ooh, you must know who you really are to know you are beautiful. Some snap to that. Y'all must not think y'all beautiful. I think y'all beautiful. Fuck that. Fuck that. Ooh. is some wisdom from Pop, some more wisdom. Remember, somebody is always watching you. Your habits. When you step out that door, when a person strikes at you, you don't have to strike back right then. A strike is a strike. The world will get you if you let them. Depend on yourself. I learned because I did myself more harm than good. Robert Gibsun Sr. Lucian! At some point, some point out the facts, some proved, some provoked, patted down, found, trigger, temporary, left for dead. At some point, we get fed up, but can't do nothing. Bit the bullet before red dust. At some point, I dried up. I cried in blue lights, lucky. What'd you say about a lawyer? You said, what about Negroes and guns? At some point, you're falling in embarrassment. At some point, you can't be professionally difficult. At some point, and shoot and shot and load more black men with trumped up charges into pens. I'll write bars about it later. At some point, I was talking to the shadows on the wall, related to despondent clocks. Bells go off. At some point, I believe this was who lived on Monument's fault. I couldn't think about Mom. I know I spoke my rights to be on this microphone quoting silence. At some point, you downgrade from professional to novice. No vice can argue with confessional Congress. No vice land, rest in peace tribute on this. No, I spoke rocks, so the pond skipped. At some point, you learn I'm beyond wits when whiskey wisdom won't whip Walmart from Wichita's, whatchamacallit, cauliflower. At some point, my mind trails off. At some point, I beg for humanity and keep dignity in a casket. At some point, some pointing from the window. This looks like unnecessary harassment. Point me to the parts of my piece that went to pieces when the words. Point me to the parts of my piece that went to pieces when the words, the procedure I wrote, and that poem was on TV in 2015, just happened to me in 2017. All patted down. This is not a movie. This is protecting correctional justice. This is your worst nightmare complex. At some point, barbed wire administration gathers me, all of my pieces. At some point, you're staring at the shadows of something greater. At some point, the Constitution was a bill of ugly labor, plantation, allegation, maturation, neighbor, build a burg named after Williams' alleged possessions, traded people for paper, scissors, Plymouth, Rockefeller, by nation, Pilgrim. At some point, pills grin. At some people grimacing, point out planetary injustice, perplexing power structures, plus poets, pluck, principle, prowess, punctuation, punch, and prejudice, pricks. At some point, you gotta pick. Push pride aside and sign or spend the weekend in confinement. At some point, the way you flip words is sick. I respect you, but you make me sick. Point them to fall. Points them to water flooding. Point and they fall. Point and they fall. Point and they stars. Pointing and they fall. Point and they fall. Mud dripped limbs. Deceased teachers shiver and sniffle at bog. Arch emissus off or get a long bong rip. Give distance. Point of greats fall and lends me a song. Point out, point, count, pointless picking peeves apart. Point of doubt setting in. Why am I in handcuffs longer than my desire to not expire? Why not smile? Why not inspire? In the landscape of the living, out, a planned escape. Escapism is forming vacation day disappearances, for fear is the cleanest, clearest prison. Scary tales point batons to tailbones. The point is to listen more than you speak.